Am I the antagonist for choosing to live with my grandparents instead of my siblings and stepmother? My father died 5 months ago. It was really sudden. He wasn't sick. He just went to work one day and didn't make it back home. My father had 5 children. He had me, 16 years old male, Mia, 11 years old female, and Kai, 10 years old male with our mother, who passed away 9 years ago. My father got remarried 5 years ago and had 2 children with his second wife. My father had set it up so that Mia, Kai, and I would stay with his wife if something were to happen to him, but he never brought this up. When I found out, I wasn't really happy and expressed a wish to live with my maternal grandparents. Kai and Mia wanted to stay with his wife as they have a close relationship with her and our half-siblings, calling her mom. They didn't want to lose me and were angry and sad, even though I assured them they would still see me. My dad's wife told me I should stay with them and give her a chance to be a second mom to me, but I declined. An emergency custody hearing was held, and I spoke to the judge with my grandparents and my dad's wife present. The judge asked why I wanted to go against my father and if I would like shared custody, to which I declined. I wanted to live with my grandparents outright, as I loved and respected them and didn't feel the same towards my dad's second wife. The judge agreed, allowing me to live with my grandparents while Kai and Mia stayed with my dad's wife. We were ordered to have individual therapy to help them understand my decision. My dad's wife has been furious and made comments about my decision, calling it disgusting that I don't love all our siblings. She feels I turned my back on the family and that I was selfish for not accepting her as a mother figure. Am I the antagonist? You are not the asshole for wanting to live with your grandparents after the sudden loss of your father, as it's important for you to feel comfortable and supported during such a difficult time. It's understandable that you have a strong bond with your grandparents and that you may not feel the same connection with your dad's second wife. It's commendable that you are prioritizing your own emotional well-being in this situation, and it's okay for you to have different feelings and needs compared to your siblings. Am I the antagonist for not participating in my nephew's care? My cousin is currently unable to care for his son, who is 13 years old. This is due to his bad decisions and actions. Let's just say he had to go away. My sister and I, females in our 40s, neither of us have kids, very much by choice, and our mom are the closest relatives. My cousin's wife and parents have all passed. I don't know anything about his late wife's parents. I have recently gone no contact with all of my family except for my mom, who is a huge problem for me, but we own a successful business together that I can't just abandon. Anyway, my cousin's kid needs guardianship. Because I have no kids, have a very stable livelihood, a good-sized home, etc., everyone in my family thinks it's the right thing to do for me to become this child's legal guardian. I have no relationship with this child. In fact, I've never even met him. My cousin and I weren't close. He did not ask me personally to be the guardian. I work in person about 90% of the time, irregular hours, often very late. My sister isn't in a place where she can care for a child. She travels the country about 50% of the year for work, and a 13-year-old would need to go to school. My mom, on the other hand, can work from home 100% of the time if she chooses. I have no desire to parent, which a 13-year-old would need, in addition to trauma counseling. I have no idea how long his parent would be absent either. It is not yet determined. I have offered to babysit occasionally and to pay for therapy if my mom were to become the legal guardian, but I know this whole situation is going to go sideways because of the strained relationship between me and my family. However, she does not want to do this. This poor kid is basically up in the air, but I literally cannot upend my life and career for a kid I've never met to do something I actively avoided doing. In addition, the kid goes to a school that is in the county my mom lives in, and I don't live in that county, so I wouldn't even be able to get him to school reliably, or he'd have to transfer to a whole new district in a very stressful time of his life. I do live with a partner, and he said he'd support me in anything I choose to do. I personally feel terrible, but I don't have the ability to parent, which is why I am not one. Am I the here for not taking on this role? While it's understandable that your family is looking to you for support in this situation, your reluctance to take on the responsibility of guardianship for a child you have no relationship with is completely valid. It's important to prioritize your own well-being and career, and it's okay to acknowledge your limitations in this situation, especially when considering the well-being of the child involved. Am I the antagonist for revealing my partner's real age to their college friends? I am 40 years old, and my boyfriend is also turning 40 very soon as well. We have been a couple for almost a decade now, living together since right before the COVID-19 pandemic. When the pandemic hit, he lost his job, and I kept us afloat with my own salary while he tried to get by until he decided to go back to college because he never got any degree after high school. We discussed it, and I was okay with him not working in order to support his studies. At first, he really struggled with focusing and concentrating and almost gave up, but I noticed his improvements, encouraged him, and now he is really on a good track for excellent grades. Later this year, he will get this degree and has already some good ideas about what to do after. What really has been bugging me lately is the fact that for the past year he has been going out with some friends he made at college. Literally, dudes in their early 20s, young adults, while he is twice their age. Now, he can really pass for way younger than he is, you know that subreddit 13 or 30, and I guess they took him for a late 20-something. What initially started with, I am going out to study with them, ended up with him crashing at somebody's place drunk because they partied too hard. I know he is not cheating on me. I follow them on Instagram and I see what they do. Just guys being dudes, I guess. The problem is I need him functioning because we have stuff to do around the house, and I rely on him since I am at the office all day. We don't have kids, but commitments and errands like adults. When I confronted him about his behavior, he defended himself, saying that he never got to experience the college life and he just wanted to have some fun. I was okay with it initially, but as the degree is approaching, they really are taking it too far. Now he is even talking about going for a vacation with them this summer. I was like, excuse me? Vacation with teenagers now? Maybe you should bring me for supporting you during all this mess. He said he would but wanted to have one last shot at the college life he never had before parting ways forever with them. Eventually I had enough, and I sent a message to one of the dudes asking if they could please leave him alone for a while, because apparently I have to step up and be the only adult. Besides, he clearly cannot keep up with them, and I am afraid this will affect his grades. He cannot go out as much as they do. He has responsibilities being almost 40 and stuff. Well, they distanced themselves from him ever since. He was enraged when he found out, and I said I would have preferred if he did it himself. But apparently, he was so enthralled by the college life that, for a moment, I really thought he's self-convinced to be in his 20s again. He stopped speaking to me and said he wants to focus on his final exams. It's wonderful that your boyfriend is making strides towards his degree, but his current behavior with his younger friends seems to be causing a strain on your relationship and his responsibilities at home. It might be beneficial for him to prioritize his studies and future plans while also finding a balance that aligns with his age and commitments. Communication and understanding each other's perspectives could help resolve this situation and ensure both of your needs are met harmoniously. Am I the antagonist for calling my partner's K-pop obsession unhealthy? This is so frustrating, and honestly I don't believe I am at fault, but my girlfriend is upset with me, and it makes me second-guess myself. My 24-year-old male girlfriend, 24-year-old female, is amazing. She's incredibly attractive and probably the nicest person I know. We've been dating for about a year and a half and we get along great. My one issue is that she is obsessed with Korean pop music, K-pop. Don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing it. I respect her music taste. I even accompanied her to a concert a while back. It's not really my thing, but it makes her happy, so I don't mind. Lately though, she has become incredibly fixated on this K-pop group, particularly on a member named Bang Chan. I'm not insecure, but she has taken it too far. She changed her phone lock screen to a picture of him, and she carries his pictures with her everywhere. She has about 10 of them and matches them with her outfits. She also watches every live stream or video featuring him. It's a bit odd but mostly harmless, so I haven't said anything about it. I've had celebrity crushes before, like Sydney Sweeney, so I understand that it's normal to some extent. However, my girlfriend's fixation seems excessive. Recently, she spent hundreds of dollars on multiple copies of the same album because it supposedly enters her into a prize draw for a video call with the group. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but she didn't win, and she was devastated. Not so much about her extravagant spending, but because she couldn't talk to Bang Chan. She managed to resell the albums, so that wasn't an issue, but I find her obsession with him somewhat worrisome. Just today, a picture of him that she ordered arrived in the mail, and she started gushing about how cute he looked. At that point, I had had enough and told her that her obsession was becoming unhealthy. I mentioned that she needed to realize that he doesn't actually care about her and that she's falling for marketing tactics. She became upset and said that she knew it was just for fun and that I was being unkind for mocking her interests. I believe I have been quite patient with her and haven't crossed any lines, so am I the one in the wrong here? It's great that you support your girlfriend's interests, but it's understandable that her intense fixation on Bang Chan could be a cause for concern. Expressing your worries about her spending and emotional investment in a celebrity is valid, but remember to approach the situation with care and understanding to avoid hurting her feelings. Am I the antagonist for not wanting to put my future on hold to watch my siblings' kids? I am an 18-year-old female with an older sister, Sarah, who is 29 years old and has 2 children, aged 8 and 4. Most of my childhood was spent taking care of her children while she went out partying. Now that I am starting a practical nursing course to enhance my university resume, Sarah is asking me to put my future on pause and watch her children so she can enjoy herself before I leave for university. Our mom warned me when I was young not to babysit for Sarah's children because of her attitude. She also mentioned that Sarah might be jealous because she used to study nursing but dropped out due to bad company and not passing her final exam. Everything came to a head yesterday when applications for the course opened, and I was talking to our mom about it. Sarah overheard that I applied and got mad, shouting about how selfish I am and how this is the only thing she has ever asked me to do. I told her to stop being childish and that it isn't my fault she had children, and I'm not their mother. The children have called me mom for about 2 years, even when corrected. Apparently I shouldn't have said that, as she started yelling at our mom, saying I'm her favorite because if I wasn't, she would tell me to put my future aside and help her with her children. Our mom told her point blank that she would never tell any of us to put our future on hold. She said she gave us all the same opportunity, and it's not anyone's fault that Sarah didn't use hers wisely. Now she has children, and I'm going to take my life more seriously. She needs to take responsibility for her children because no one told her to have them, and she can't look after them. Sarah started crying and left. Then our mom started on me, saying she warned me from the very beginning, and I didn't listen. She said I need to stop being a pushover because I lost all my childhood when I was supposed to be outside playing with friends, going out, and just being a kid. I was babysitting like I gave birth. Our mom said it's my fault Sarah became so entitled because when she made plans for me to go out, I would cancel to watch the children. She's not wrong. I would always feel sorry for Sarah because she knew how to manipulate me, just because I don't like to see people suffer or be sad. Sorry for the long post. I just want to know if I'm the asshole for not putting my future on hold. I do know I'm not putting my future on hold. It sounds like you've been incredibly supportive of your sister and her children, but pursuing your own goals and education is also important. Your mom made it clear that everyone should prioritize their own future, so it's reasonable for you to focus on your practical nursing course without feeling guilty for not putting your plans on hold for your sister. Am I the antagonist for telling my mother-in-law why I have Vaseline next to my bed? Hello, apologies for the new account. I prefer not to be associated with my other account. Okay, so my mother-in-law. Or actually, I will start with my wife, Tara. Tara is lovely and wonderful. Tara also escaped from her little Midwestern hometown and ran to the coast the moment she could, and I am pretty sure her mom took that personally. Her mother was born and raised in and around that small town. So, my mother-in-law. She is emotionally immature. Tara read that one book about immature adult parents, and she finally understood her family dynamic in a way she never did before. Mother-in-law is not a bad or evil person, she usually means well, but she's kind of, I don't know how to put it, self-centered. Like her first thought process is always how do I feel about this new information. Tara and I bought a little starter home last year. Interest rates were high, but we're hoping they come down and we can refinance. The place was too good to pass up. And her mother-in-law invited herself over last week. This is something that is extremely on brand for her, and we like to pick our battles in this family, so we just let her. Her mother, who again is not terrible, just has bad emotional regulation and boundaries. Shows up and drops her stuff in the spare room and just immediately starts giving herself the tour. Again, whatever, we actually hired a cleaner before she arrived so we wouldn't worry. Annoying, but that's life. So she's wandering around and comes to our bedroom. I have a jumbo-sized tub of generic Vaseline next to my bed because I use a nose CPAP and my lips get chapped. So she picks it up and makes this really weird face and says, almost a direct quote, "Well, I know what this is for." And I respond, "Oh, that's for chapped lips. I don't jerk off with Vaseline." Apparently my timing was good because my wife laughed, but my mother-in-law did not laugh at all. Then for the next 3 days, she kept asking me, "Are you gonna be gross again?" when I tried to make normal conversation. I said over and over that she was the one who made the joke, and her response was always, "Yeah, but that was a joke." Like what I said was totally serious. And I guess it was, I was telling the truth, but I was only bantering because she started it. I didn't even invite her into our bedroom. Anyways, she brought it up over text to Tara, and there is subtle pressure from her to just apologize, but I don't think I did anything wrong. Am I the asshole? It sounds like you found yourself in an awkward situation thanks to some misplaced humor, but it's understandable that you were caught off guard by the comment. Your mother-in-law's reaction may have been a bit over the top, but perhaps a light-hearted apology could help smooth things over without necessarily admitting fault. Remember, it's important to maintain a respectful relationship, even in the face of uncomfortable moments. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.